This is Eric from Pack Hacker, and today we're taking a look at the Patagonia Black Hole MLC Cube 12 liter, which I've been testing for the past 2 weeks. Let's dive in. So the primary material that we're working with here is 300 denier recycled polyester ripstop. You can really see the ripstop texture on this colorway, maybe not so much on some of the other ones. We've also got a recycled TPU laminate and a poly coating on the inside. So these things are very water resistant. I wouldn't call it waterproof by any means, but it's teetering on the line of being very water resistant to kind of waterproof is what I would say. But very happy with this material. It's done very well, it's held up well, but this is designed to fit inside different MCL bags. So if you have an MCL bag from Patagonia, this should fit inside the main compartment or somewhere inside the bag. And it's not completely, you can do this a little bit bigger. I have it compressed, but this thing does offer some pretty good compression with the roll top here. You can roll it obviously more to get more compression. It's only to a degree, you can only do so much with your hands. But overall, pretty happy with the design of the roll top, but it does get a little bit interesting here on the bottom with this zipper part, but we will get into that. So the zipper is from YKK. I really like these red pulls. It contrasts nicely with the color of the main body here, and just really easy to use because of the paracord-like pulls. I think that they're just simple and easy. They get to the point, easy to do. And on the top here, we have a Duraflex buckle that holds this. Very small buckle, small but mighty. I haven't had it pop open or anything like that. It can be kind of challenging to get it closed when you're really compressing it, but that's probably just an issue with me trying to compress it more than it really needs to be compressed. We have a loop here on the side, which is nice. You can hang this thing. So I never really needed to hang it, but one time when I was testing the water resistance of this just under the sink, it got all wet, and then to dry it, I just kind of, when it was empty, I just hung it up, and that made it dry a lot quicker because everything was coming out of it and not pooling on the inside. So overall, pretty happy with the materials, and I mean, it's Patagonia, you kind of know what to expect, but the materials, the hardware, everything, it does really well. It's just whether or not you're gonna like the design will decide whether or not you're gonna purchase this thing. So if you are finding this video helpful, make sure you throw a like on this video and subscribe to the channel so we can continue making content like this to help you travel smarter. So as I said, the design for this thing is kind of unique. It's a packing cube, but it's also a gear cube, so you don't have to do clothes in here. You could do, like, you know, bike tools, or if you're going camping, you put some of your camping tools. It is important to remember that these materials are durable, but they aren't, you know, completely puncture proof or anything like that. So if you put something super pointy in there, it could puncture this, and obviously that would not be good because that's going to make it a lot less water resistant if there's a big hole in it. So I'm just going to start on the top here. We have the roll top here. It's going to be slowly open. We do have a little, I think it's probably nylon or polyester, not exactly sure what this is, but sometimes you see plastic, but I'd rather see something like this. It's a little bit easier to work with than the plastic, but that's how you fold it, is on that little piece of fabric there, and that's your thing that you work with. So I've just got our standard packing cubes that we show in pretty much every single video here at Pack Hacker, so you can get an idea of how much gear I had in there. So pretty good amount of stuff shoved in there, and I could have fit more as well because there was room on the sides and stuff like that. If you hear a little bit of noise outside, they are replacing the roof right now, so that is what that noise is. So sorry if that is a little bit bothersome, but we've been dealing with that for a few weeks. But as you can see here, there's no organization inside. It's just kind of like an oval on the bottom, and then just whatever you can fit inside, you can fit inside. So this part of the design I don't have a problem with. Not that I really have a problem with any of it. It's very easy to put clothes in here, or like, it is a little bit harder to do anything that's not malleable like clothing. So clothing obviously kind of fits into the corners and stuff like that, but if you're doing tools, like I did my bike tools in here once just for a bike ride to kind of see how it did, and it was fine, but it was harder to pack it, and when I rolled it up, it kind of felt like awkward because there's like things poking out and stuff like that. So just kind of something to keep in mind. You can't put other stuff in here, but you need to kind of pack it a little bit better, whereas clothes you can kind of just shove in there and fit them in the corners and stuff like that. So on the bottom part here, we have this zippered area, and it's obviously, as you can see, much smaller. And it can just be kind of challenging to, when there's nothing up here, especially like if you're packing this, it can be kind of challenging to do, because when there's nothing up here, and when there is stuff up here even, like it just kind of like falls. I don't know, it's just kind of, I guess I shouldn't say it's hard to do, it's just weird. Weird is what I'm gonna go with here. So the way that I used this when I went to a trip to my mom's house is I put socks and underwear down here on the bottom, and then I had all my other clothing on the top. So it's a good way to segment your gear. You can do smaller stuff up here, and then your bigger stuff, your pants and shirts and stuff up here, and the smaller stuff down here. You could also, you know, if you want to throw some tech or something in here, like you don't need a bunch of tech, but you're just going to bring a few things, or maybe this is where you can put some of your tools and stuff like that. Like maybe your bike tools go on side of here, and then you have like your rain jacket and stuff like that up here. So you have like all of your bike stuff just segmented, but it's really hard for me to get used to this duality. And unless you have a perfect use for it, like this is the perfect size for your weekend trips. You put your socks and underwear down here, you put the rest of your clothes up here. That's great. But if you don't have a perfect use for it, which I didn't, it just was kind of challenging for me to use. So it seems kind of like maybe this was someone's like unicorn for their trip and it works really well for them, but maybe it's not going to work super well for everybody else. So if you have an idea of what you would use this for, I would love to hear it, because for me personally, it just wasn't the best fit. But I really do like the segmented design. I really like that I have somewhere to put smaller stuff and then the larger stuff can go somewhere else. Or like I said, you can have all of your clothing up here, and then you can put some tools and stuff down here, maybe some tech, or like if, I don't know, you could put like, you can put anything down there. It's like a little sling almost, but the duality of it was challenging for me to personally find a use for. And something I forgot to mention in the last section is we do have the Patagonia logo here and the Patagonia stitched on logo here as well. So overall, I think this thing looks really nice. I think the materials and hardware hold up great. And I think the idea of the segmented packing cube or gear cube, depending how you're using it, is a great one. I just found this one a little bit challenging to use. But if you have used this, or if you have a way that you would use this, I would love to hear it. So there you have it, the Patagonia Black Hole MLC Cube 12 liters. Thanks for keeping it here at Pack Hacker, your guide to smarter travel. We'll see you in the next one.